Imagine if all of the food of the entire McDonald's franchise was poisoned for one day. What comes to mind when I say the word McDonald's?
Fast food.
Golden Arches.
I don't know why, but Happy Meal was the first thing that came to mind.
Basement wall or something. If not, we could probably have to
Single arches.
How often do you eat McDonald's, whether it's just coffee or a meal?
Maybe once or twice a month. Maybe once a month.
Okay.
I'm sure mine is much different
I
than
know.
yours.
Well, I get their oatmeal and coffee a lot.
Okay.
I probably go once a week.
Okay.
I would say probably at minimum 2. I have their coffee. Sometimes I'll just have cookies, like whatever snack. And I actually eat dinner there probably once a week.
Okay. When you go to McDonald's, do you dine in or do you go through the drive-thru?
Drive-through. Unless I take my niece and nephews to the playland,
Okay.
then I'll sip my coffee while they play. But otherwise, it's always the drive-through.
I actually usually dine in, but a lot of my answers are because of the person I go with is like very anti-drive-thru. So, and we walk there a lot, so we dine in.
The Northwestern is steaming back to shore.
Drive-through.
Both? What do you think of the nutritional content of McDonald's food?
It's not good.
I think it's all about the choices you make or how much of it that you eat. Like, you can get a coffee there, and it's no different than getting a coffee anywhere else. I think the thing that I worry about the most is like the chemicals that are in the food, and more than I worry about like the calories.
Right.
That so.
I basically agree with you. I think it's about what you choose. I mean, they have salads, they have yogurt there, they have oatmeal. You can have a burger and fries, or you can have a snack wrap, which is grilled chicken and lettuce. So it just depends on what you choose to eat when you're there.
Okay. Thank you. Imagine if the whole franchise, if all their food was poisoned for a day. If someone, say a terrorist or anyone, got a hold of that.
If somebody poisoned McDonald's for a day, it would probably wipe out like half of America. Honestly, it probably would wipe out half of America, if not more people.
Yeah.
If they didn't know, and it happened all in an instant, and it wasn't over a span where they could stop people from going to McDonald's, and it all just happened at one time, it could.
Because they probably who knows if they would even catch it in the first day.
Exactly.
It could take up to a week, and by that time it could kill
millions
upon millions of people.
So why do you think that a place like McDonald's got so popular? How do you think that?
I think they kind of revolutionized the way to eat food, just as general Americans, because it's easy, it's convenient, it's very filling. So people are just they think it's cheap too. So people can just go pick it up on the way home for the family or for themselves, especially for themselves, because they don't have to worry about other people. And it's an all-American meal almost, because it's just burgers, fries, and a Coke or a soft drink. It's such an American type meal, and it's
been revolutionized by America. Good. All right. So, what do you think of when I say the word just McDonald's? Like, what first comes to your mind when I say that?
Pure awesomeness.
Okay.
Hamburger.
Just hamburgers.
Big Mac.
Big Mac?
About chickens dying from the YouTube videos.
Okay.
Fast food.
Okay.
Not necessarily the healthiest choice
Okay.
of food.
Alright. How often do you guys eat McDonald's?
So once or twice a week.
Once or twice a week?
Once every couple of months when I take my grandchildren.
Okay.
Never.
Never?
Like once a week.
Well, you said that you don't eat there very often.
Yeah,
you haven't been there in a long time.
I can't. Well, let's put it like this. I would never. Since I became able to make my own food dietary choices, I've never chosen to go there. I've been there probably once in the last couple of years, and it was one of those things like it was either the meal that was being had, so I'm going there, I'm in a car with someone, or it was provided.
Okay. And when you go there, do you eat inside or do you go through the drive-thru most of the time?
Depends. I'd probably say it's like 50%.
Okay.
Usually inside. The drive-through.
Okay. And what about you?
The drive-through.
All of the experience, the most recent experience, like I say, which would have been a couple of years, that I went through the drive-thru.
All right. And like the overall nutritional value, do you think it's good or bad at McDonald's?
Awful.
Think it's awful? All right. You think it's not very good?
Oh, yeah. 0%.
All right.
Well, I hear in the news that they are trying to make strides to change the perception.
Okay.
But the perception that I still have at first pass is it's kind of unhealthy.
What if something were to happen to a supplier of McDonald's through if some sort of meat went bad or something? What do you think, how many people do you think that would affect, and what do you think that would do to the world or just America in general?
I don't know based upon the numbers. I mean, you can kind of see what's happening in Germany right now, the E. coli scare.
Yeah.
I don't know as far as the reach. I think it would be significant though. Their supply chain seems to be pretty centralized, and they have a couple of suppliers for the things that they use, and I would think that if those suppliers were affected,
And it could do a lot of damage.
It could adversely affect a large segment of the population.
All right.
I mean, everywhere you look, there's honestly a McDonald's on every corner.
Yeah.
Just like there's our gas stations, there's always McDonald's. Every restaurant I've ever been to, there's a McDonald's. And just the fact that how many people would go there and to have a statistic like that or a problem like that could...
And the fact that they're open, or a lot of them are open 24 hours, so that anyone can grab food all day, all the time.
It could be a big deal. It could be in almost anything. It could be the drinks or the hamburgers, nuggets, whatever you want. That would just be devastating to the population.
Yeah, attracts not necessarily just the people, but the taste buds, because once someone has fast food once, say at McDonald's, once they have it once, then their body wants it more and more, so they keep coming back to it. It's almost addicting to them.
It's almost like a drug, almost.
Exactly.
Millions of people around the world eat McDonald's every day, and if something would happen to a food supply where something was poisoned and it killed a lot of people, you could see some of the effects of the people that it would affect. We only interviewed only a drop in the bucket amount of people who actually eat McDonald's daily, but you can see the types of people who it would affect, and it would be very hurtful to the world in the U.S. or any country around the world if something like that would happen to a place like McDonald's.
Sweet summer air, one man moves deeper.